everyone, this is Michelle for TheAlleyWayStamps. I'm back with another tutorial video for you today. And today I have a really unique kind of card. It's actually a shaped card. So I started off with a few die cuts that I cut from my silhouette. And they're just a bunch of wreath shapes that are actually supposed to go with the stamp set, but I'm just going to use them as elements for my card. So I cut 2 of the solid wreath images from white cardstock and then 2 from a 6x6 paper pad, which you can see here. And I liked using the 6x6 paper pad because it's double-sided, so if I decided I wanted to switch up the patterns, I could do that afterwards. So first I'm going to start off by putting together the card base. So I'm taking out my paper trimmer and I'm just using the little indent that comes in the middle, and I'm using my bone folder to just score about 1/2 inch into the card. If you have a scoreboard, you could use that as well. So this is just going to make a little flap so that the card front hinges onto this and you can open up the card. And I'm using some strong liquid adhesive. If you have super strong double-sided tape, you could use that as well. But I'm just using this because it's easier to just get all over the shape of the card. And then the other 2 pieces, I'm just looking at how I want to place that. I think I'm going to put one of them completely lined up with the card base, but then the other one offset a little bit. So I'm just positioning it to see how it'll look, and then once I have that about where it would go, I'm trimming the inside of the shape just so that I know which parts will be showing when I do my stamping. So I took out this stamp set called Branching Out, and I'm going to take out one of the branches and then a little bird so that the bird could be sitting on the branch, and I think this is just a really cute idea to have this inside the wreath. And then I'm taking a sentiment from a mini set that just says hugs to go on the side. Since there isn't a lot of space inside the wreath, I just wanted a short sentiment. And I'm going to place all of these down and make sure it's showing inside the wreath. And mount this onto my acrylic block. The branch is kind of hanging off, but I'm not going to be stamping the whole thing, so it's okay. And I'll be stamping this in Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And I'm stamping the bird onto another piece of cardstock because I'll be coloring that and cutting it out later. So I'm just going to go ahead and color this in really quickly with my Copic markers. And that's the reason why I use the Memento ink, so that it wouldn't bleed with these markers. I'm just doing some really basic coloring with some tans and browns on the branch. And then for the bird I used some blue colors as well as some yellow for the wings and the beak. And I'll have all of the specific colors that I used in the coordinating blog post, so you can go check that out if you want to see what colors I used. So once the coloring is done, I went ahead and cut out the little bird so that I can pop him up on foam squares later. And I'm adhering the first die cut wreath on top of the card base so that it lines up perfectly with that. And then for the wreath that I'm going to put on top, I decided instead of leaving it whole, I want to cut out the little pieces of leaves separately so that I can just move them around a little bit more and have more of the base wreath showing. So I just went ahead and did that, and I'm taping those down as well. And I'm also lifting up the edges of the top set of wreath leaves, just so that this gives a little more dimension, so that it looks more like actual leaves that pop up. And it just adds more dimension and layers to this card. And then I went ahead and used the same liquid adhesive to glue down the first layer of wreaths so that it would stay put really well. And then I went ahead and cut up some foam squares so that I could put it behind this teeny little bird and pop him up so that it looks like he's sitting on top of the branch. And finally, for the last step, I brought out this string of pearls to put on top of the leaves. And these come connected on some adhesive, so I just cut them out in little clusters and put them in groups of 2s and 3s onto each of these individual leaves. And this kind of gives more dimension and also looks like maybe some flowers on top of the leaves just to give more interest to it. If you want, you can use just individual pearls for this, or gems, or sequins. Or if you have little flower die cuts, I think that would look really nice. I didn't have enough patience to cut those all out, so I just went for this option. And you'll see I'm just making sure it opens well enough to write a note inside, and it actually stands up really well. So I think this is a really cool idea to try a shaped card, just to make something a little different. And you can try out this die cut from TheAlleyWayStamps if you want. I'll also have a link to where you can find that SVG file to cut on your silhouette. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in seeing more card making tutorials, make sure to subscribe to TheAlleyWayStamps or my YouTube channel, which you can click on this screen right here. And if you haven't watched the last video that I made for TheAlleyWayStamps, you can go ahead and watch that as well. For all of the information and supplies, you can head over to one of these blogs and everything will be listed. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.